Did y'all see this breaking news? The Fed hasn't even cut the mortgage rates yet, or cut the rates yet, and the mortgage providers are already reducing the rates. There was one that I saw here in Wisconsin for 4.75% on a 30-year fixed. I saw one also at 6.15%. So I've been preaching to the choir. All of my YouTube subscribers, Facebook subscribers, people who come across me on YouTube, wherever, that don't fall for the okie doke, which is what they were telling people to do. People like Grant Cardone, people like Robert Kiyosaki, and all of these people saying don't buy a house, interest rates are too high, it's cheaper to rent, all of this BS stuff. We see right now that we have a housing shortage, that they need to get more houses, and people are still buying houses at the high interest rates. I talked about our housekeeper, where she had came to my wife and was like, her and her husband were thinking about buying a house, but their family and friends said, don't buy the house because the interest rates are too high. And we said, well, right now you're paying 100% interest on renting. And she ended up, her and her husband ended up buying the house. They ended up getting the house, and it was at 7% interest. We said, don't worry, you will be able to refinance. Keep your credit right. You will be able to refinance, and you're going to, as a matter of fact, your house is going to be worth more when the interest rates go down, and you're going to be able to put more, put money in your pocket. And she was like, how are you going to be able to do that? Well, I'm about to explain to you how she will be able to do it. And if you follow my instruction, I can't give financial or, that type of advice. I'm just telling you what I would do and what she did do, and the results are bearing themselves out. What you can do to be able to get yourself in a great position, especially when these interest rates go down. So I know that you want concrete solutions. You're tired of BS stuff. You're tired of people telling you stuff and they're not even living that life. They're lifestyle lying. That's what they're doing. You want to be able to protect your money. You want to be able to protect your credit. You want to be able to have an increase the lifestyle for you and your family, live comfortably, have no surprises. That's what I want for myself and my family. And I think that a lot of you that are watching this video want that for your family. One of the first places, the first investments that people make, that was actually one of the other than starting my business in 1990. The second investment that my wife and I made was buying a home in not 2000. And bought our first home in, I think it was 1993 or 94. Bought our first home, and when we sold that home back then in our 20s, sold that home, we made $40,000. On that, when we sold the home, $40,000 back in the 1990s. So it's the next, like one of the first places, if a person doesn't own a business or they're not investing in the stock market, is their home is like an investment vehicle. And so don't be fooled. If you have a hard time saving money, I've said this before, if you have a hard time saving money, make your mortgage payments and sell your house in the end. And if you even got that money back, you're ahead of what most people who can't save money and didn't put money aside would be at after 20, 30, 40 years. Trust me. I've seen people who did not save money, but they had their houses and they sold their houses, or they moved into a small apartment and rented out their house, and they make money all the time from their house. People come to one of my businesses, a lot of older people who have real estate here in the city of Milwaukee, and that's how they live, is by collecting those rents. These people are 60, 70 years old. So don't be fooled by what Grant Cardone and all these people say, because what they're doing is they're making up hedge funds and they're going up and scraping up the money. He tells people don't buy property on one side of the fence, and then on the other side of the fence running commercials all over XM radio saying that they go out and grab up properties and pay these returns to their investors. So don't believe them. Think for yourself. Don't believe me. Don't believe them. Just get the information and make a logical decision. Make a decision. Come based on educating yourself. And if we educate ourselves on what's happening with the real estate market, real estate mortgage rates were way up 7%, maybe even a little bit more, and now they're coming down. And I had told people that if you go and buy that house at a high interest rate, you're actually doing yourself a favor. So now let me break down how you're doing yourself a favor. Number one, you're getting a house even if you had to pay a little bit more for it. You're getting a house now because it's hard to buy the houses. When my son-in-law and daughter were looking at houses, there were 20, 30 people lined up to buy the same house. They ended up getting a new build because they were like, and even for the new build, there were people, and they ended up having to bid a little bit more. When we moved to our new house, after we sold our home, we ended up, just so we didn't have to wait in line or have no bidding war, we bid it up, I think, $15,000 and ended up getting the house. Higher than what they had it listed for. The house now, bought for $805,000, house now is worth $1.5 million. Now, let me break down what happens and what mine is, because it's on a lot of land. Let's just go to regular average home, like with my housekeeper. They number one, because they got into the mindset of number one, taking care of their credit, because that's the first step. If your credit is messed up, you fight to the end, no matter how long it takes, get that to the right position. We'll talk about how to get that dealt with later. Credit got to be right. If your credit is right, you're going to get the best interest rate. Even when the interest rates are high, you're going to still get the best interest rate. So now, this is how what happened with the experience of my housekeeper. Because they paid attention to their credit, because they paid attention to saving money for the down payment, budgeting, getting into the right mindset of being financially responsible, they ended up coming back to us and saying, we've saved $15,000 and we don't know what to do with it. And we just told them what we do with our money. We said, we don't advise you, but we're just telling you what we did with our money. And we said at the beginning, you don't want to get into the stock market potentially because you're new. Maybe put it into a CD where it just makes a little bit of money and you just get used to not spending the extra money that you have. That was like the thing that we told her. They said that they went to the bank, looked at doing stock investment, 401k type investment. They just didn't feel comfortable. They put it in a CD. It's growing a little bit of money. As a matter of fact, if you go to Chase, it might have changed now, but you can get 3-month, 6-month CDs, very good interest rate, very good, solid interest rate. So that was number two benefit, is because they got into the right mindset, took care of their credit, right mindset about budgeting, saving money, had $15,000. So they went from paying more from renting, which rents are going up, owning their own home, and now having $15,000. Now, let me show you how they're going to even have more money in their pocket. Now that the interest rates, they got their interest rate at a little bit over 7% at that time, because it was when it was sky high. Over 7%. Now, same $240,000 house at 6.75 is $1,577. They're already saving money. At the next interest rate, 6.15, which is what I saw advertised today in one spot, that's $1,462. So here, let me do a number real quick, because I didn't do this one here at the 7.25. So that was $1,637. So now, if they were refinanced right now, 6.15, that's $1,462. So we're at $1,637 minus $1,462. We're already at $175 times 12. $2,100 extra dollars in their pocket. But it gets better. I saw advertised in my state of Wisconsin 4.75 30-year fix. So we go from the 1637 minus in the 4.75 30-year fix $1,252. We're talking about $385 a month savings times 12, $4,620. You stack the $4,620 onto the CD that was $15,000. Now you got $19,000 earning interest. Even if you want to just be safe and not take any risk, you're at $19,000. The next year, with your interest that you make from the CD, and you shop around to keep getting the highest interest rate and renegotiate with the bank. Chase will renegotiate. I do it multiple times to get a higher rate. And then you stack on top the savings that you had. Now, you want to hit you got the bases, like me, bases was loaded. And you hit the home run and cleared the bases, including yourself. At the house that I used to have, I was at 3.75%. I remember people were calling me all the time saying, hey, you want to refinance, do this, blah, all that stuff. And they would tell me the rate. They were always over my rate. They said, what rate are you at? I said, I'm at 3.75%. So we take that 3.75%. We're at $1,111. So we got our 1637 minus $1,111. We're at $526 per month savings times 12. We're at $6,312 in savings per year. This is how wealth is built. So now, let's talk about the other side. So see, I just showed you where they put money in their pocket. Money is in the pocket by just doing a rate in term refinance. You don't want to add any more years. You don't want to get any money out. None of that stuff. You're just you pay the fee you pay the fee so they don't include it in the mortgage if you got the money set aside to do it. And so you just clearly starting where you were at. That's where you're going to be at. And the banks are offering that left and right now. Now you're stacking on $6,312 on top of your $15,000 CD, making interest on that. That's moving up. Here's the flip side, and this is what happened with my last home that I sold. Paid payments all those years. When the rates go down, guess what goes up? The price goes up because that $240,000 house that someone can get at 3.75%, or let's just say even at the 6.15% that's right now, you think that just because the interest rates went down, they're going to keep that house the same price? No. What people do, what the markets do, is it moves up that. Because if people were used to paying $1,400, they could pay $1,400, or they were used to paying, let's just go at 6.75%. They were used to paying $1,577 on a $240,000 house. And if you can go down to 6.15, they're going to raise the price of that house. They're going to raise the price to that 6.75 monthly payment that they were used to. This is the way that it works. This is what they don't want to tell people about. And you don't have to take my word on it. Go and look. Why do the prices keep going up? It's because people get used to paying a certain rate, a certain monthly payment. And then if the rates can go down, they can raise the price of their houses because people can buy more of a house, even though it's the same house. So now back to my housekeeper, their house value is going to go up because all of the people who are selling around them, now that the interest rates are going down, some of those people decided not to sell because the rates were high, because they didn't think that they were going to be able to get what they wanted for their house. Now they're going to increase their price because a person is going to get a lower interest rate. They can afford more of a house. So that's the numbers right there. That's how you build wealth. That's the real way of building wealth, starting with yourself. So now the first step to that, though, is your credit. You got to get that credit taken care of. No matter what, how long it takes, if it takes, whatever it will take, work on your credit. If you got to settle some debt, settle some debt. Whatever you got to do, that's the start line. That's the start line. If you're skipping and trying to do all the other stuff, they're just going to send you right back to go, like on Monopoly. Go back to go, because your credit is not right. So if you need help repairing your credit, please visit my website, thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video that states what makes us different. It costs nothing to start now. $0. I know it says on the video $11.95. We took that away. I want to make it a no-brainer for you. I want to trust you so you can see us do the work, and then after you see that the work was performed, not talking about fixing your credit in 30 days. I'm talking about you see that the work is put out there so you can start to benefit from some results, and we continue on that. That's the deal. We do the work, you pay. We do the work, you pay. That's a good deal. I think that's a good working relationship. And if you have settlements, we can help you with that, because some of the time credit repair is not just about repairing the credit. It's about lowering that debt, because nobody is going to loan you any money having collections that are open on your credit reports. Nobody. So we help you with that also. We have a service to help you with that. So we can take you from A to Z with your credit repair process. So go to my website, thecreditrepairshop.com, watch video, what makes us different. You can see my 8-point validation process, my 2-phase settlement process. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website, your3scores.com, to grab your TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian credit reports in all 3 scores. If you have debt collectors coming after you early in the game, grab my 3-pack of letters: statute of limitations letter, cease and desist, collection activities letter, and debt validation letter. That can stop debt collectors before they get started, or when they first get started. Use those. I do ask for a donation on them. I appreciate everyone who does it. It helps me monetize my time here to make these videos to help you. Thank you for your time. Subscribe to the channel. Post your questions and comments. This is Stephen A. Williams, President and Founder of thecreditrepairshop.com.